Bassirou Diomaye Faye has been sworn in as President of Senegal to become Africa's youngest elected leader. Earlier this month, Faye won the delayed election, securing 54% of the vote ahead of his main challenger, Amadou Ba. For more on Faye's election and inauguration, we're now joined by correspondent Ahmed Rufai Nabil. Ahmed, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Just talk to us about this ceremony today. Of course, what makes this even more interesting is that this is the youngest president, to be taken into office.
Indeed, Bassirou Faye is Africa's youngest president to go into office. So there is a lot of excitement about this. And we know that before even Senegal had this crucial election, there was a lot of disturbances within the country. But then efforts to even postpone the elections also heralded a lot of protests among opposition groups and all that. But then today, indeed, everything has been climaxed with the inauguration of Bassirou Faye as Senegal's next leader, and there is a lot that is expected from him. We know that within the West African sub-region, at least 12 leaders from the West African region attended the inauguration. We can talk about the chairman of the ECOWAS and also the president of Nigeria. That's Tinubu was present, and also even Ghana's president Nana Akufo-Addo was also present at the inauguration ceremony. So it goes to say that the West African bloc is rallying support for Bassirou Faye, and they would want to help him to succeed in his tenure in office. We must say that it's not going to be an easy ride though, because there's been concerns that Bassirou Faye does not have a lot of political experience. But then only time will tell as to how his leadership would be now that he's been sworn in as the president. And the countdown to his 100 days in office has actually just begun.
I mean, what also makes it, even more remarkable and interesting is that, this is a man who went from prisoner, to president in just 20 days. You talk a little bit about his track record, but perhaps just talk to us about what the people of Senegal are hoping from him. I know that a lot of them, of course, are very excited to have a new leadership in the fray. Just talk to us about what the expectations on the ground are, and of course, as we delve into his own track record.
Well, you know that rightly, as you said, that he was in prison. He came out of prison and then won this election. His political mentor, that's Sonko, who was actually supposed to have contested for this position, was barred from the election because he was convicted of some crimes. So he actually rallied support for Bassirou Faye to really win this election. So we know that Sonko would also be guiding him through the whole process. But on the ground, Sonko himself, who is also a very young leader, gets support from a lot of young population within Senegal, and also now that has been transferred to Bassirou Faye. So a lot of young people are looking forward to a good leadership from one of their own, because just at the age of 44 years becoming president, that's quite a huge feat. So a lot is expected from him by the teaming youth. One of the key things that they would want him to do is to create jobs for them, because unemployment among young people in Senegal is very high, and it's one of the concerns that they've had against the previous government that's led by Macky Sall. They felt that Macky Sall was not able to create a lot of jobs for them. So they are looking forward to Bassirou Faye creating jobs for them and also tackling the rising cost of living currently in Senegal. That has also been a major decider for this particular election. So these are the two critical things that the young people would want Bassirou Faye to tackle in his first days in office, to bring down the cost of living and also start creating jobs for them.
All right, Ahmed, thank you so much for that update.